In this video, we will talk about the Manhattan Project, understand the development of the atomic bomb during World War II. World War II began in 1939 when Germany, led by Adolf Hitler, invaded Poland. The conflict quickly spread across Europe and Asia, involving many of the world's major powers. By the early 1940s, the Axis powers, Germany, Italy, and Japan, had gained significant ground, and the Allied powers, including the United States, the United Kingdom, and the Soviet Union, were struggling to stop them. During this time, scientists discovered that splitting the nucleus of an atom could release an enormous amount of energy. This process, called nuclear fission, raised the possibility of creating a powerful new weapon, the atomic bomb. Fearing that Nazi Germany might develop such a weapon first, the Allies decided to pursue their own atomic research. The birth of the Manhattan Project. In 1939, physicist Albert Einstein and other prominent scientists, including Leo Szilard and Eugene Wigner, wrote a letter to U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt, warning him about the potential for atomic weapons. They explained that recent scientific discoveries, particularly in nuclear fission, could lead to the creation of extremely powerful bombs. The scientists expressed concern that Nazi Germany might already be working on such weapons and urged the United States to begin its own research to stay ahead. Roosevelt recognized the gravity of the situation and agreed to take action. By 1942, the Manhattan Project was officially launched, marking the start of a top-secret mission to develop the world's first atomic bomb. The project was named after the Manhattan Engineer District of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, which oversaw its operations. It was an enormous undertaking, involving thousands of scientists, engineers, technicians, and workers across the United States. The project was led by General Leslie Groves, a skilled military leader who managed the logistical and organizational challenges, while physicist J. Robert Oppenheimer served as the scientific director, overseeing the research and development of the bomb. The Manhattan Project was one of the most secretive programs in history, with only a small group of people aware of its full scope and purpose. This secrecy was crucial to prevent enemy nations, particularly Nazi Germany, from learning about the project and developing their own atomic weapons first. The Manhattan Project represented a unique collaboration between science, government, and the military, and its success would forever change the course of history. Key locations and facilities. The Manhattan Project was spread across multiple sites in the United States, each with a specific role. Los Alamos, New Mexico, was the main research and design laboratory, where scientists worked on developing the atomic bomb. Oppenheimer led the team here, which included some of the world's top physicists. Oak Ridge, Tennessee, was responsible for producing enriched uranium, one of the key materials needed for the bomb. Hanford, Washington, was where scientists produced plutonium, another material used in atomic bombs. At the University of Chicago, Illinois, physicist Enrico Fermi and his team built the world's first nuclear reactor, which proved that a controlled nuclear chain reaction was possible. The science behind the atomic bomb. The atomic bomb works by releasing the energy stored in the nucleus of an atom. This is done through nuclear fission, where the nucleus of a heavy atom, like uranium or plutonium, is split into smaller parts. When this happens, a tremendous amount of energy is released in the form of heat, light, and radiation. There were two types of atomic bombs developed during the Manhattan Project. The uranium bomb, Little Boy, used uranium-235, a rare isotope of uranium, and relied on a gun-like mechanism to trigger the explosion. The plutonium bomb, Fat Man, used plutonium-239 and was more complex, using an implosion mechanism to compress the plutonium and start the chain reaction. The Trinity test. After years of research and development, the Manhattan Project team was ready to test their first atomic bomb. On July 16, 1945, they conducted the Trinity test in the desert near Alamogordo, New Mexico. The test was a success, producing a massive explosion equivalent to about 20,000 tons of TNT. The explosion created a huge mushroom cloud and left a crater in the ground. The success of the Trinity test confirmed that the atomic bomb was a reality. It also marked the beginning of the nuclear age. The use of atomic bombs in World War II. By mid-1945, World War II was nearing its end in Europe, but the war in the Pacific against Japan was still raging. The United States and its allies were planning a costly invasion of Japan, but they hoped to avoid it by forcing Japan to surrender. The atomic bomb was seen as a way to end the war quickly and save lives. On August 6, 1945, the United States dropped the uranium bomb, nicknamed Little Boy, on the Japanese city of Hiroshima. The explosion destroyed much of the city and killed an estimated 140,000 people, many of whom died instantly or from radiation sickness in the following weeks. 3 days later, on August 9, 1945, the United States dropped the plutonium bomb, nicknamed Fat Man, on the city of Nagasaki. This bomb killed around 70,000 people and caused widespread destruction. The bombings had a devastating impact on Japan. On August 15, 1945, Japan announced its surrender, bringing World War II to an end. The aftermath and legacy. The use of atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki had profound consequences. It marked the end of World War II but also raised serious ethical and moral questions about the use of such destructive weapons. The bombings demonstrated the immense power of nuclear weapons and the catastrophic damage they could cause. After the war, the Manhattan Project's success led to an arms race between the United States and the Soviet Union, known as the Cold War. Both countries developed larger and more powerful nuclear weapons, leading to a dangerous standoff that lasted for decades. The Manhattan Project also had a lasting impact on science and technology. It paved the way for advancements in nuclear energy, medicine, and other fields. However, it also highlighted the need for international cooperation to prevent the misuse of nuclear technology. Key figures of the Manhattan Project. Several key figures played important roles in the Manhattan Project. J. Robert Oppenheimer, the scientific director of the project, is often called the atomic bomb. General Leslie Groves was the military leader who oversaw the project and ensured its success. Enrico Fermi, a physicist, built the first nuclear reactor. Albert Einstein, although not directly involved, laid the groundwork for the project with his work on theoretical physics. Niels Bohr, another physicist, contributed to the understanding of nuclear fission. Ethical and moral questions. The Manhattan Project and the use of atomic bombs raised many ethical and moral questions. Some argued that the bombings were necessary to end the war and save lives, while others believed that the use of such destructive weapons was unjustifiable. The bombings also highlighted the dangers of nuclear weapons and the need for global efforts to prevent their use. The debate over the morality of the atomic bomb continues to this day, reminding us of the complex choices faced during times of war. The Manhattan Project was a monumental achievement in science and engineering, but it also had far-reaching consequences. It ended World War II but ushered in the nuclear age, with all its dangers and challenges. The project serves as a reminder of the power of human ingenuity and the importance of using science and technology responsibly. The legacy of the Manhattan Project continues to shape our world, reminding us of the need for peace and cooperation in the face of such immense power. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. Also, subscribe to our channel before you go. Thank you for watching.